So that chappie does actually have an SIA back licence on him, on his coat. But being approached now from the right, I think. Hiya.
Can you stop recording, please, so I can have a discussion with you?
Why can't you have a discussion with me while I'm recording?
Because you're not allowed to record on our premises.
What's your name? Jamie?
So my name's Jamie. I'm
Nice
the
to meet
Senior
you.
Ops Manager for Amazon Logistics in the Southwest.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can I just inquire what you're up to?
Just making a little video around the area, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that on our property, so if you could do it from off our property.
Is that against the law, is it?
It's not. Yes, it's not allowed for us to be, for you to be filming on.
Is that against the law or is that a policy?
It's be our policy, yes.
Do I work for you?
No.
Do I sign up to your policies?
No, but I would encourage you if you could not. I'll report it up in terms of civil authorities if you continue to.
Okay, that's fine. There's not a lot they can do about it either.
Yeah, but if you could not walk around anywhere near anywhere and record any of our buildings.
But there's a public reception there.
You need permission to record people. It's a GDPR requirement. So
GDPR.
I don't give you permission to utilise.
You know do you know who GDPR applies to?
Pretty much everybody.
Organisations.
Yeah.
I'm not an organisation. I'm a person.
Okay.
It doesn't apply to me.
Well, I'll leave you with our security team.
Go for it.
And so they just need to know you're not allowed. You're trespassing currently on our property.
Cool. So where's your property line end? Begin, sorry.
Up against this, if you can just stare to the edge of the
So when the
line,
bricking starts,
yes,
that's your property.
If you stand on that path on the other side, you're good to go.
Okay, cool. Alright, well, as soon as I've been asked to leave, I will leave.
That's really kind of you, thank you.
But obviously, trespassing is a civil matter. Until I've been asked to leave your property, then it's not trespassing.
No, so
but now you've asked, I will
thank you,
leave.
that's
That's
really
fine. But again, I will still be recording from the public footpath.
Yeah, of course you can.
But yeah, it's.
Is there anything I can help you with at all?
No, not at all. It's literally just coming past. It's like a really big site. I didn't know it was out here. So is this for the whole of Southwest, this depot?
No,
or is
this is just for this sort of extra area.
Just for the extra area, is
so
it?
We have multiple sites across the region. This
Okay.
is one of them.
There you go, interesting, yeah. I just go around all sorts of places making videos and other things that I find interesting, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine, not a problem. If you want me to leave, I'll go stand over there. No worries.
Yes, if you could, more than happy if you to record just off the premises.
Yeah.
But no problem.
Alright, no worries. Cheers, Jamie.
Thanks very much.
We begin in an Amazon facility where a manager insists that company policy somehow overrides a right to film in public. Notice how quickly the conversation turns to GDPR, a data protection law that is frequently misunderstood by staff to block photography. The manager suggests recording requires permission, which generally applies to commercial data processing, not public hobbyists. Watch how the auditor stands his ground as a...
Hopefully through here. Ooh, computer screens on display. Computer screens on display. That's not good. Right there. It's just sort of back of house sort of area. Keep in mind, everywhere I've walked so far, there's not been any signage saying no pedestrian access, no unauthorised access, or anything like that. But yeah, those computer screens there should not be on display. You alright? Yeah, I've just noticed as I'm walking around, all your computer screens in the office there, they're all facing the window. That's quite a breach of GDPR. Obviously, I don't know what you record on the computers, so if there's any personal information on those screens. Obviously, that's a huge breach of GDPR.
Are you recording?
I am at the moment, yeah.
You do have to ask for my permission if you want to record me.
Of course I don't.
Okay? Yes, you do have to. Under the Data Protection Act, you have to ask for my permission.
Do you know who that applies
Okay?
to?
Yes, I do.
Who does that apply to? Organisations.
This is an organisation.
Yeah, but I'm not.
I'm personal data protection.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to record
But
without my
I'm
permission.
recording from a public place. So that's Karen there from Eon. Site is protected by Mighty. Anything I would say that is protected by Eon, by Karen from Eon. So I saw her telling a couple of other people that I was here So what we do? Oh yeah. No.
Moving to a nearby Ian site, the situation flips. The auditor spots sensitive computer screens visible through the window. Ironically, while these employees often worry about cameras breaching privacy, leaving personal data exposed to the street appears to be the real issue here. It seems inconsistent to claim privacy concerns.
Door's open down there, by the way. But I could walk in that door, you know. I'll walk in. Now they're panicking. Let's see if we go close that door. Again, keep in mind that not a single person has actually asked me to leave. The lens just got a bit of rain on it, I think. Bear with me, guys. Whoop. So I cleared it up a bit, there we go. Yeah, so that door down there is wide open. Just told him that, you know, obviously I can walk right in that door. But so yeah, they're going to call 999 for a man with a camera. Let's have a wander around here, see what Karen's... Blinds? Have you got blinds? Helen? Yeah, no, certainly haven't got blinds or anything. But that's it. Karen don't want to use her computer while I'm here. Hey, there we go. Somebody went down and closed that door down there, which is good. If anything, what I've done here today is alerted them to a security breach. I could have been anybody with nefarious intent. I could have just walked straight into that building and done anything, all sorts.
Instead of simply acknowledging the open door and exposed screens, the staff's reaction is to panic and lock down. It appears they are now calling the police to report man with a camera rather than addressing their own security lapse. This escalation is common when employees feel observed but generally don't understand the laws regarding public places. Clip 4. Officers arrive with a narrative...
Lies, but it's all on CCTV because they got CCTV all over the building. So... there we go. Yeah, just move out the road, shall we? That's cool.
What's going on today?
I was just around the area doing a little recording out in public. Went down to Amazon and walk around the site up there. It was a business park site. Noticed the Eon site here, had a walk around, went down to the Exeter North Airport bit down there. Had a walk around, noticed they had, as I was walking up just over there, they had one of their doors wedged open. So I was going to go up to reception to tell them that it was open. Obviously it's a security risk for them. Because I noticed it on the way down to the airport bit. Yeah. On the way back up it was still open, so I thought I'd let them know. So the door was locked, so I was going to go around, knock on their window and let them know. Yeah. As I go around there, obviously they were on the screens and that, they saw me, came to the door. I said to them, just noticed while they're there, obviously they're breaching GDPR because their computer screens are all facing the window for a publicly accessible point, which is a breach of GDPR on their part. As soon as I mentioned that, she just got funny and said, oh, you can't record, you have permission to record me and all that. And I said, you know, hey, I don't need the permission to record you.
So in a public place,
don't.
No, exactly.
Private place, which that is private.
Yeah, if I were
conditional access.
No, that's it. Yeah, but
if they've asked you to leave and stop recording.
But the thing is, nobody not once has asked me to leave.
Okay, that's what you're going to say. Then.
Yeah. I mean, it's all recorded.
If they have asked you to leave and you're not left kind of recording, then
that's civil trespass.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I can't. Doesn't mean I can't
if
record.
it steps into the realm of like aggravated trespass and things like that. Ultimately, I just want to make sure that there's not any issues down here.
Yeah, no.
They decided to call us.
Yeah.
At some point, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not saying what has or hasn't happened, but somebody said they might have felt intimidated by your presence.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I can say I feel intimidated by yours, you know.
You
know what I mean.
No, I totally get what you're saying. But if you're in a private premises and somebody else feels intimidated and as a result of their lawful activities, regardless of what you're going to say about GDPR and things like that, if lawful activities are being disturbed,
well, it's not lawful. Yeah, as I say, it's not lawful if they're breaching GDPR, is it? But
aggravated trespass.
But I'm not stopping them from doing anything.
No.
Yeah.
Clip 4. Officers arrive with a narrative already in place. The officer claims the auditor entered the building, which we know from the footage likely isn't true. This highlights how initial dispatch calls often contain exaggerated details from the complainant. The police must now determine if a crime occurred, or if they are simply enforcing a company's preference.
No, literally. I mean, as soon as they didn't want to talk to me, I saw them pick up the phone. Like, one of them opened the door after the first person, just looked at me and said no, and I saw them pick up the phone. So I knew they were going to call me. So I just stood there and waited for you guys, because if they're going to waste your time bringing you out here, I don't want your time further wasted searching around the area for me. So I'll wait around and deal with it. Yeah, I just do videos for YouTube. Yeah.
Sheer interest, I can see if I know.
Power to the proletariat. Go get some badge numbers for you. You got 7220-8201. You're based at Exeter Police Station here.
We're from Honiton.
Oh, you're Honiton Police Station.
Well.
Oh, I'm a Honiton boy, born and raised.
My suggestion, my friend, is obviously I'm asking you to leave the area. This is obviously going to be private land. There's additional access the public have. I would suggest they've now withdrawn that access.
They haven't told me that.
Okay. We can find that if we need to. But I'm going to ask you to leave the area.
You can't ask me to leave the area. Unless there's a dispersal order in place.
If they've then withdrawn your permission to be here,
but they need to inform me of that, don't they? You're not a person of their business. They need to inform that.
If they've asked me to basically say that you're not.
Yeah, but they haven't told you that yet, have they? So you can't ask me to leave until such a time. Exactly. So
ultimately, mate, I totally get why you do the things that you do. Sometimes you do get certain officers that are dicks and do things that they should be doing. I'm not here to give you a hard time.
Cool. But I said, that's fine. If you find out they don't want me on their property,
do you want to just square that away, my friend, and
find out? Can you ask them where their property line is as well, please?
Sorry?
Their property line. Because obviously this road might be a private road, but obviously you got the Exeter Airport. Exactly, but you got the Exeter Airport down there, so I don't know if they own it, or if it's public.
Then wouldn't get into the territory of is whether or not, even if you do remain in a public area, if your behaviour causes them harassment, alarm and distress, whether or not we then look at public order act offences. I don't want to really go down that route. I know.
To be fair, I know in the back of my hand the what constitutes public order offences, section 4, 4A and 5, and my behaviour does not constitute that at all. So you could, if you wanted to charge me with that and take me in for that, it would be a no further action. You'd end up with a civil suit against yourself. So it wouldn't be worth.
The officer attempts to frame standing on public land as harassment or causing alarm. This is a frequent tactic used to move people along. However, for a public order offense to stick, there usually needs to be intent to cause distress, not just someone standing quietly with camera. The tension is rising as they demand he leaves the area. Coming up, the officer
watch closely as the auditor challenges the legal necessity for this demand in a tense standoff.
Ultimately, though, what I can't have you doing is staying here all night, causing them to feel intimidated.
No, like I said, once you guys have left, I went over there to get a shot of the building because I was getting bored and cold. Yeah. So I was literally stood there doing a pan of the building, doing an outro to the video, and then you guys pulled up. So once you guys are gone, I'll probably stand where I'll stand.
I ask you to give me your name and details, you're going to say.
No, I'm not. No. But
obviously, if it gets to the stage where I suspect you might be committing offences, and I ask you, you do need to give me them.
If you arrest me for it, under suspicion.
Yeah, so
if you detain me, I don't have to. If you arrest me under suspicion, I have to.
If I suspect you of an offence, and you refuse to give me your details, that would then give me a necessity to arrest you. If you give me your details, actually the offence can be dealt with separately without an arrest. That's how.
No. Under the law, you have to be. But once you're arrested, you're obligated to give your details. But you can't arrest me because I refuse to give my details. There's one piece of legislation in the UK that says I have to if you suspect me of it.
Section 50.
Exactly. That's the only one I have to.
Like, from my perspective, to explain it how it would be functionally used.
Yeah.
If I suspect somebody's committed an offence, I need to deal with that offence potentially.
Yeah.
If I don't know who that person is, because they won't give me a name, address, details, or anything like that, I then really have no option other than to arrest that person.
Okay, so you take me in.
Section 24 of PACE basically.
Right.
It covers all of that. The reasons for arrest and the necessities.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get to that.
I suppose what it is, if I willingly give my details, and then you could be like, right, it's not an offence that I need to bring you into the station right now because you're not causing any immediate harm. You can come and find me later.
Yeah. So refusing to give your details wouldn't be the offence. It would just then provide a necessity for the arrest.
Because to identify me at the station. Okay.
Because otherwise, how could I reasonably deal with it? You need to be interviewed, things like that, where possible. Go to practice, so we should do that elsewhere other than arrest if it's practicable, and actually we don't need to arrest somebody.
I see where you're coming from with that, yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from with that.
I'm not here to argue with you. I know how the whole YouTube thing works. I find it quite interesting watching
Good.
Just out of interest, do you only upload the negative one?
No, I went to a police headquarters up in Cambridgeshire, did their headquarters and that, and I had a really, really positive interaction with PC Chris Hepworth. And I uploaded that, and I made a point to really highlight that video because, as much as we just show what we see really. Like, you guys have come out, you've been quite respectful. You know, you haven't tried to like.
There is a critical legal moment in the UK. You generally do not have to provide your name and address unless you are under arrest or involved in a traffic stop. The officer argues that refusing details creates a necessity to arrest, but this reasoning typically requires a suspected crime to have occurred first, not just a refusal to identify. Clip 7. The conversation shifts to a common debate about policing culture. The auditor points out the inconsistency between how the public is treated versus how officers behave at their own headquarters. It is an interesting moment where the officer listens, though he still seems intent on viewing the auditor's presence as a root problem rather than a false report. Clip 8. The auditor offers to show his footage to prove he didn't enter the building. This is often the quickest way to de-escalate. Yet police often hesitate.
There's a certain element of understanding. Like, you can understand from a policeman's point of view. I'm not suggesting you're doing anything like this, but if you've got somebody that just wanders into a police area, headquarters, police station, or whatever, I can understand why the officers are going to be a bit like, oh, hang on a minute, who are you and why you're here?
Well, the thing is, I don't know if you've been to the headquarters up in Exeter. So as you drive around sort of the back entrance sort of way, there's a sign, there's a blue circle one that's got a pedestrian and cycle footpath sign on it. So I just carried on walking up there. I'd already been stopped on the corner by a PC, had a bit of a conversation with her. I said, well, I'm just going to walk along pavement, so I'm going to stick to publicly accessible areas. So I was walking up there, they got the barrier for the cars, it's controlled by security, that's it, yeah. But there's no barrier for the pavement or anything. There's no sign saying no unauthorised access or anything like that. So, you know, so...
I think that has now changed, isn't it? There's some...
well, 3 weeks ago there wasn't, because that's when I did it.
Yeah, possibly, you might have the course of that.
Yeah, hopefully.
There's no point in me coming here doing things that I shouldn't do, being horrible to you,
no.
being ridiculous, when actually it just makes me look like a mug if I do that.
Well, yeah. It's not even that it makes you look like a mug. That's not even the main point. The main point is that the police shouldn't be acting like that. You know, at the end of the day, I've got nothing against the police personally. Exactly that. Act within your powers. Act reasonable.
Like the common law side of it that comes in.
Yeah.
Things are a little bit less obvious. Yeah. A little bit more grey.
Exactly. Until somebody's committed a crime or suspected of committed a crime, there's nothing the police can really do. You know, apart from liaise between.
I know that you guys do plenty of research yourself, and you probably educate yourselves quite a lot.
Yeah.
If we then come across offences.
Yeah.
Like if these guys are saying they don't want you on their premises, and you refuse to leave, I ask you to leave.
The conversation shifts to a common debate about policing culture. The auditor points out the inconsistency between how the public is treated versus how officers behave at their own headquarters. It is an interesting moment where the officer listens, though he still seems intent on viewing the auditor's presence as a root problem rather than a false report. Clip 8. The auditor offers to show his footage to prove he didn't enter the building. This is often the quickest way to de-escalate. Yet police often hesitate to view it immediately.
Or disrupting. If I were constantly knocking on the window, harassing them and stopping them, but if I'm just stood outside waiting for you guys, then I'm not aggravated.
Alright, again, I wasn't here.
Yeah, no, of course. This is what this is the thing when they call the police, you get their side of it.
And we can help you get your side.
Yeah.
The truth tends to sit somewhere in the middle, doesn't it?
Well, the truth sits on the camera. That's why we record. Yeah, they got a fire truck and surface.
If they make allegations at you, if your behaviour has caused intimidation and destruction of their activities, you're refusing to leave. Obviously, we act on suspicion, don't we?
Yeah.
I never say this has happened.
Sure. If it ever got to that point, I would opt to show you the footage on my camera before you decide to arrest me, take me in. I would say, look, how about I stop recording? I'd say that I'd ask you to put your camera on, and I would.
The camera runs anyway, so.
Is it on? Is it?
Yeah, it's been on. I did tell you earlier on in the
I was going to say I didn't hear you say that you turned it on.
So
but
yeah, it is what it is. But at the same time,
yeah,
I can understand it from their point of view as just like normal work.
Yeah.
They don't really want a stranger outside filming.
No, literally, like
that you can or can't.
No, literally, if when I'd said to them like, oh, by the way, you're breaking GDPR and now seeing, if they just said, oh, thanks for letting me know, no problem, I would have turned around and said, no worries, cheers guys, and I would have been on my way. Because I saw them pick up the phone, and I'm like, okay, the police are coming. I don't want to waste your time. If they're going to come out anyway, I don't want you then looking for me, wasting more time. So,
in all fairness, from that perspective, okay, you have scared them today.
Right.
It's females that you've approached in there. All right.
They approached me.
Your persona, do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. I get
the hood wasn't up, that's because it was raining, but yeah.
She said they've asked you numerous times to leave the building, leave them alone.
Again, I just said, if it goes to the point, I can show the film.
Me CCTV of them engaging with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so to that effect. So asking you now to leave.
Okay.
Right? They don't want to take it further. They just want you to leave, not to come back.
Okay.
And they said, from their perspective, their GDPR, they follow all the rules and regulations that they need to do. Whenever they leave a computer unattended, they lock it, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but even when they're on it, it's still visible from a publicly accessible area. That's the point.
You don't know what information's on there. It might be.
Well, when I walked past, there was email addresses, there was people's names and addresses.
Email addresses for staff working out.
Yeah, but no, there's people's names and addresses on the screen. I can see it all, you know. Yeah.
Direct complaints.
Oh, I will. But the thing is, I like to let somebody hear though, so I don't have to take it all that high, because I don't want to get them in trouble. So they're doing that thing, because then they can rearrange their desk so it's not facing the windows. You know.
The auditor offers to show his footage to prove he didn't enter the building. This is often the quickest way to de-escalate. Yet police often hesitate to view it immediately, preferring to rely on the caller's word. It highlights the difficulty of being presumed innocent when a large corporation makes a specific complaint against an individual. Clip 9. The officer admitted.
Yeah. So the arrest itself, if that were to happen, wouldn't be an unlawful arrest, because we would have the reasonable grounds to suspect, based on the information we were given at the time. If later on the investigation suggests that something else is happening.
See, but then that's tricky, because your suspicion is based on one person's word against the other. So it's like saying you believe a corporation and business over a member of the public.
Suspicion is pretty much down here. Believe is quite a lot higher.
Yeah.
If I believe something, then I'm pretty much saying 100% that's suspicion is actually quite a low threshold. And most allegations can only be suspicion, really, until they've been investigated properly. So it's one of those where it's difficult. I totally get what your point is with it, actually. Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, you can't raise questions, offences, and things like that. So, yeah, the only way that we can do it is to do it the correct way. So,
that's fair enough.
Yeah. Hopefully a positive interaction for your channel rather than a negative one. And hopefully it won't be edited too much.
No, I don't like to. If anything, all I do is I fast forward bits when I'm stood around, but I don't like to cut it out. People do most say, just show the interactions. Like, no, I like to show everything that led up to it, because I don't want people thinking I'm going and prodding people to get the reaction. Because I just kind of stand around and people come to me.
And I think, I think these guys, their perception of it might be a bit different. They feel like they're prodded a bit.
Literally,
that was your intention or not?
No, literally, I just walked around the building, and then she came to the door. As I was walking back around, she came to the door, and I was like, oh yeah. She's like, can I help? I was like, yeah, just let you know, all your screens are on display and your door's open. And she just got all funny, and I was like, oh, alright, cool.
So, the plan now is?
Like I said, just going to stand on this verge, do a plan of the building, do an outro, and I'll be on my way.
I just got to let them know that, alright? Yep. So that they know.
No worries. I'll probably wait to get a shot of you guys driving out as well.
I would suggest if after we leave we get another call.
Yeah. I'm wet cold enough as it is.
Yeah. Again, we will probably be returning.
Yeah.
And again, if they're substantiating an allegation that they felt harassed and they're distressed by your behaviour, then we need to consider dealing with a potential Section 5 public order act offence. Okay. We need to go into detail about why they feel harassed or distressed by your presence. But it's only fair that I have that discussion with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it? Because if I was stood there and then say I were here for an appointment and I was waiting to go in for an appointment, and I phoned you and said, I feel alarmed, harassed and distressed because they've got their CCTV pointed at me.
You need to give me a little bit more of a reason.
The officer admits that arrests are based on suspicion derived from the caller's report. This is legally tricky because the report is baseless. The arrest can be unlawful. The auditor stands firm, knowing he likely hasn't broken any laws, effectively forcing the officers to decide if they really want to risk making a wrongful arrest based on hearsay. Clip 10. The police eventually realized no offenses were committed and...
If we do repeat calls,
yeah, no, as I said, I'm not going to hang around.
Allegations of offences.
Yeah.
We kind of have to deal with it, don't we? We can't turn a blind eye and ignore stuff. At the same time, if I don't think there is an offence, I'll make one up.
Cool, no worries.
Right.
Sounds like a plan. Cheers, chaps. There we go, guys. So that is the Eon site just outside Exeter. Had a decent couple of officers, really. You know, they had their hands in their pockets and that, which I noticed. Don't think the 7220 did let me know that its body cam was recording. Initially, he did eventually, but I think initially I don't think he did make that clear to me. But they weren't rude, obviously hands in their pockets, like I said. It's cold, it's raining, I'm not going to hold them to that at this point, you know. If they started being rude or unprofessional, then, you know, I would hold them to a stricter standard. But other than that, yeah, they weren't too bad officers, you know. Can't grumble too much. We get a shot of them heading out. So there we go. So yeah, they didn't want to tell the police where their property line was. So they're not going to say where their property line is. I don't know where I can or cannot stand. Like I said, I'm going to say to the officer, I'm going to assume that it's at that line there, not on this grass verge bit here. So yeah, we've had some Karens and Kens all pulling out there, all coming out, calling the police and wasting their time. And we'll give it those couple of minutes. I said I was going to do an outro for. And yeah, it's a shame. So what I'll be doing is sending an email to Eon's headquarters, or whoever it is I need to contact. I'll look it up, about their GDPR breach and their rude staff.
The police eventually realize no offenses were committed and leave without taking details. There are 3 key things to remember from this encounter. First, policy is not law. You don't sign a contract just by walking past a building. Second, visible computer screens in public view are a legitimate GDPR concern for the company, not the camera. And finally, you are generally not required to identify yourself just because an officer asks. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a comment and subscribe for more transparency. This video is educational, not legal advice.